Okay.
I don't see him yet.
Okay, yeah, I don't see him yet, Ed, but welcome
That's okay. I've talked to him
everybody.
enough on the phone. He already knows
Yeah.
all everything I'm going to say mostly anyway.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. Well, welcome everybody to the call. I think Grace and Kirby, I haven't seen you guys. Where did you come in from? Was it Meetup or Ed's List? Maybe type in the chat if you don't mind, just so I know. And everybody, great to have you here. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to give a quick introduction, then I'll introduce Ed Barsano that we have with us today, and we'll get started and hear about this incredible software. So I'm Francine Lou Miller, and those of you that don't know me, I spent about 20 years in the equity markets. I traded stocks for large hedge funds and mutual funds for a period of time, and then, long story short, dove into crypto probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I was looking for a bot, something that could automate because I have no interest in, staring at the screens all day, and I know how much great volatility there is in crypto and money to be made. And the bots they'd like run out of money. I think they're trading, they'd turn off. I just had to tweak them all the time, and I didn't like that. And a lot of times too, you have to pay like 30% of your profits to the creator of this bot, So that wasn't any fun. And then I was introduced to Ed in April of last year. And it was just like night and day. And I'm a market technician, so I used to stare at charts all day. And I love that Ed has programmed 27 technical indicators into the AI. So for buying and selling before you purchase and exit, it'll call the AI to make sure we're not going to miss movement lower on the buy or higher on the sell. So I thought that was super cool. I don't have to look at charts anymore. And it just is seamless. It is truly set and forget. I consider this my conservative strategy I have operating in the background. And that's why, yeah, that's why I like it. Connects to your Coinbase or Kraken account. And Ed, by the way, thank you so much for joining us today. So Ed is pretty incredible. He has an interesting story. He was actually a programmer in the Navy for 8 years. Then when he got out, he worked for the federal government in nuclear engineering. Pretty remarkable stuff. He became head developer, and those guys cranked out like 100 programs in 2 years, working 20-hour days. So then he ended up at Microsoft after that and worked at Microsoft for what, Ed, about 8.5 years or so, and became
Yes.
like, at the end, I think you had like 300 people under you. Global manager responsibilities went through the roof, and you had all these stock
Better
options.
known as enemy of the state.
Enemy of the state. Yeah, so Ed's been doing AI since 1989, and he decided to retire at the ripe old age of 39 in 1995. And
Yeah, I was over the hill.
you're over the hill. Yeah. So, and like everybody, he was buying tech stocks, right? And when the dot-com bubble hit in 2000 and he lost 60% of that Microsoft net worth, he was like, you must be the wrong guy. I'm going to prove that these are just numbers going up and down on the screen. I'm going to automate these markets. And that's what he set out to do. So he created this auto trader for stocks. He learned, he sat at prop desks. He gave everybody what they wanted with the technical indicators, the charts, like what he'll call multiple screens of ways for us to shoot ourselves in the foot, right? We're looking at all this stuff. It was a downloadable software, E-Trade, Ameritrade, the online brokers reached out to him out of the blue, to connect via API to his technology. And long story short, that company grew for the first few years. He was just giving traders away, right, to everybody. And then it
For
got
free even.
for free, yeah. So it got bigger, and people had been asking him to automate the crypto market, right? In about 2017, 18, he was like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. But he sold the company, and then went cloud-based with everything, the stocks and crypto. So we do have an auto trader for both of those markets. But when he flipped the switch for crypto about 4.5 years ago, he was like, never look back to stocks because there is so much great volatility. So this is all cloud-based, and the AI has got like 25 years of learning behind it, which I don't know any other AI that has that. So it's pretty sweet. And so Ed, how did I do? And you're the one that has these calls
You
and
did
sees
good.
things, yeah, happening. So where do we want to start? Do you want to just talk about,
Well,
yeah, just jumping into
just
crypto?
jump in.
Yeah, we have some
Sure.
folks from
Well,
Meetup, yeah, as well.
we
So
have a few hours.
yeah,
I got two bottles of smart water here. And I'm
yeah.
not a genius like everybody says. I just drink smart
Mhm.
water.
We may
These
have
guys
some
ought to pay me.
Yeah,
I
we may have
endorse them so much.
I know you do. We may have some guys, some folks on the call too from Meetup that are into, automation and AI and data, data information because this is a lot. I mean, the trader's got millions of lines of code and Ed calls the AI is just a bell and a whistle because the trader runs, by itself. Ed manages all the servers, him and his son, Steven. A lot of servers backups upon backups. So I don't think Ed we've ever had like maybe one time you got that there was a bit of a glitch or downtime and really all your funds are in your Coinbase account. So it's not like you don't have access. You have full access to everything, so yep.
Yeah. Well,
So
that one glitch you're talking about, we were down for a day, and I caused it.
you caused
I
it.
was doing a security update, and when you're doing an update to some servers, sometimes some updates, you can't reboot the servers until the update's done on all the servers. Otherwise, you got a mix of things going
Mhm.
on that.
Yep.
And the stupid Windows update accidentally did a Windows update while I was doing these
That's
security
right.
updates.
That's right.
And then
Oops.
I'm like, oh man, now I gotta just shut everybody down, just stop. Now I've got to do this update on every server. Before it was just a leisure update. I could do 5 servers a day, take it easy, and then reboot them all at the end. But because that happened, I had to do all these updates in one day. So that
Yeah.
was a very rare, in 25 years, that never happened. So that was only one time.
Yeah.
In any case, it's no, our servers, and actually that's what I wanted to talk about first, because I heard you say cloud-based, and you said it a few times fast, and I don't know if Grace understood what you're talking about. Uh, Cloud-based means the auto traders are running on my servers, as opposed to the original software I wrote that ran on your computer at home. So you had to turn on the computer and you had to have your computer running and the software ran on it. And then the software, of course, was getting bigger and bigger and bigger as I kept adding more and more to it over the years, right? It got to where people couldn't even log into their email while the program was running because it was just sucking up all the computing resources.
Mhm.
So and then it had 10 screens, like Francine said, of things you could do. I mean, and you think that's a good thing, it's actually a very bad thing because it opens the door. You're just destroying yourself all over the place and you don't even realize it. You're making mistakes you don't even know you're making. And so I sold that company off around 2018, I think. That was downloadable software. Um, and I had clients all over the world. We were like the geek squad, man. If you had any problem with your computer, were you calling us? And I'm like, hey, if you can't get to the internet, that has nothing to do with me. Call your ISP. But it wasn't like that. People were always calling us. If
Mhm.
they had a problem with their Windows updates, they'd be calling us. I had 40 support people. I
Yeah.
mean, literally 40 support people in cubes. I mean, it was insanity. So I sold that company off to a hedge fund. They had a lot of auto traders and they were happy to buy it, and I was so happy that they bought it. And then I rewrote the software to be web-based. That meant the software now runs on my servers. I've got racks, cabinets full of servers. It's called racks of servers in this big cage. And so all you need to do is go to any browser and you can see your auto trader. You can do it. You can go do it from your cell phone, or your laptop or your desktop or whatever, from your Mac. It doesn't matter. Just
Yeah.
go to a browser and you can see your auto trader. As long as you can get to an internet, you can get to your auto trader.
Mhm.
So that made it a lot easier. Now I have no support people. I don't even need them. Well, I got a couple. But it's nothing, for the number of emails, for the number of clients that we have, and it's thousands. The number of emails we get daily are nothing. Probably
Yeah.
on one hand, five
Because most
emails
people
maybe.
are probably like me and I never even go in there. I just get your profit report at the end of the day and sometimes I look at it, I'm just like,
It's
it's
100%
pretty crazy.
automation,
Yeah, yeah.
and it's more automation than anybody's really ever seen, and it's been like that since 2001, since I created the software. You know, nobody's ever seen anything where people don't believe that a computer could make all the decisions. Believe me, they can. We can land a man on the moon. Like in
Mhm.
1969, we landed a man on the moon with no computer. Because if there
That's so
was a
crazy.
computer on that ship, it had to be as big as a house back in
That
1969.
is so crazy to
So, and these laptops are like 10,000 times more power than what they had in 69, and they went to the moon
yeah.
and back, you know? And so, I mean, you can do so much. And I've been programming for, I hate to say it, 50 years. 2025 is actually 51 years, which is really bad. It makes me sound
That's
like I'm
amazing.
100 years old.
Well, I just want to say too.
Don't ever play the age card with me either, though. 'Cause some people go, well, you know, I'm old and all that. I'm like, baloney, we would have been in high school together partying. Don't give me that
So,
year old BS.
so Ed, I want to touch real, I just want to say really quick too that it's
All
not
right.
have to be selling auto traders, right? Ed did well, but he's really, you'll hear as we get started here officially that he's super passionate about this, which is what I love. When I got into crypto, seeing behind the scenes what happens to the little guy in the market, the big whales don't care about us, right? So I was really excited to find a tool that could help the normal investor, right, to kind of gain an edge and not have to worry about the emotion. Markets are they're all emotion driven. They're manipulated, and why get sucked up in on all that, BS, right? Let's have the computer do it for us. And so, Ed, why don't you talk a little bit, just get started, like how it works, because I know we don't
Yeah.
ever sell at a loss, right? And people are, I think, curious to hear about why that is and how that works, and yeah, the premise
Mhm.
behind the whole system.
Yeah, I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah.
So, the first premise to understand there's some realities that if you understand some realities, then then you're on your way. And one reality is if I had a magic indicator that told me what a coin was going to do tomorrow, I would be the richest person on the planet. It simply doesn't exist.
Hmm.
So anytime you buy a coin, you forget about all history, forget about any news, forget about everything else out there. When you buy that coin, there is a 50-50 chance it's either going to go up or it's going to go down, and there's no way you can know which way it's going to go. That's reality.
Hmm.
And accept some more realities. Nobody in the world knows. Nobody in the world that's going to help you knows what's going to happen. So there's no magic. Those talking heads on TV can't tell you anything. Nobody could tell because if they knew in reality what was going to happen to anything, to any coin or even stock, then they would be the richest person on the planet. So those are the realities. So never feel inferior to anybody else. Don't ever feel like, oh, they know more than I do. I hear it all day long. If I go out and I mention crypto anywhere, oh, I don't know, I got to read about it. Oh, my brother-in-law is in crypto. Yeah, well, he's not going to be able to help you either, believe me. Unless he lives in Mar-a-Lago, all right? I don't want to hear it. You know,
Hmm.
you know, because it's there. So once you accept those realities, then we can talk about automation. Then
Hmm.
we can say, okay, well, what's the best we can do? Okay, well, let's look at some realities here. I'm going to share my screen
Hmm.
and I'm going to hide this big thing floating in the middle of the screen. And let's go to this bucket in the well. Perfect place to start. Okay?
Yep.
This is reality. If you accept this reality, then you're okay. Then you can see that you're going to rake money out of the market for life. If it was water, and some of you have already heard me say this over and over, but it's an important thing. It lays the foundation for the whole trader. If it's water, the bucket has to go all the way to the bottom and get the water, and it has to go all the way back up to dump it out. The bucket can't go halfway down. It can't even go three-quarters of the way down. It can't even go 90% of the way down and then go back up. It'll have an empty bucket. It's got to go 100% down and 100% up to dump that water out. That's reality. Everybody understands that. I didn't invent it. It's been around for thousands of years. Okay? Like I always say, I didn't invent commerce. It's always been there. I'm not a genius. Like I said, I drink smart water. That's the only thing. The only advantage over you is the water I drink. All right. But if it's the crypto market or the stock market for that matter, it doesn't have to go all the way down. It could just go down a little and go up a little and pump money. Just keep pumping money. It's just, this becomes an insult to humanity because once you get it, you realize you're just going to keep pumping money forever. You don't even care if it goes lower. So I'm holding that one and it went lower and I'm trading down here. This is where the action is. It doesn't matter where the action is. Fine, I'll hold that one and I'll hold that one. The action's down here now. You can't stop me from keep pumping money for the rest of my life. Get a jelly jar, some empty jar, and throw a marble a day in a jar and watch that thing fill up. There's nothing they can do to stop you. It's real money, and it's going to keep coming. And every time you have a crazy move in the market like that jump right there, you sell all that inventory off that you were. I call this just inventory. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter where the prices go. Now, here's where people get confused. If it goes down here too fast, and you're holding these, what you call losers, the ones that are underwater, say it dropped 50%, the coin dropped, because cryptos do move a lot overnight. Well, it didn't wiggle 50% enough to take 50% profits that fast, okay? So that means when the inventory goes down in value, your account value goes down in value. The first lesson number one is stop looking at your account value. It's misleading. It doesn't mean anything. Unless you're going to run out and buy a Ferrari tomorrow, or you're going to go out and buy a new car or something, and you feel like you need that money right away, then it shouldn't have been in here anyways. But if that's the case, well, then you're going to be looking at your account value a lot. But I don't even care about the account value. It means nothing. What I look at is, if I bounce over here a second, I just look at how much money did I take off the table in the last 30 days right here. That's all I care about is, am I making enough money every month to be able to make it worth my while? I can't eat $3,000 a month, and this is in a very slow market. I call it a manipulated market, but it's a very slow market over the last 6 months. It hasn't been bouncing enough. I've had $30,000 months. Instead, this is a measly 2796. It's a slow month. I've started this in February of 23, and it's taken 356,000 of profits. Now, when I say I took 356,000, I didn't take that all at once. If you look down on the lower right, you can see how it was taken. Look at this one. That's a low one, man. I don't even know what the deal is there. 4 cents. It's almost a joke. Sometimes the broker prices will get hokey, and you once in a while you'll see stupidity like that. But normally $36, $457, $22. I don't dictate to the market what to give me, all right? I give it a base number and I say, I want to bank about 3% or 5% per trade. But the market could jump up 100%. The coin can jump 100% in a day, straight up. And I'll make 100%. So here's $70, here's $193. If you scroll down, sometimes you have big days where you're just selling a lot, but when you add it all up, like this here is a lot of buying on 919 and 921 and 922. A lot of down days. But it doesn't matter because you've got the market trapped. Anytime the price goes lower, you've got the market trapped down there now. Like I always say, I'm the opposite of Hillary Clinton. She says, when they go low, we go high. And I'm like, baloney. I say, when they go low, I go low. And now what? Now I got you trapped down there because if you try to wiggle, I got you. You got to pay me. If I keep buying at the lowest price, you can't ever wiggle like that. A little move like that, pay me, pay me, pay me. You can't, I got them trapped. And right now, they've been going down now for 4 years straight in the crypto market. And think about millions of people who got out of the market. Why? because they went in 4 years ago up here and they were buying holders and they didn't have an auto trader. See, with my auto trader, I'm buying and selling the whole time. So the trend is down, it's going lower, but I keep taking money. Like a perfect example is this top coin, ACH, Alchemy Pay. I went in that coin 4 years ago, or at at 12 cents a share. It is now just under 1 penny. You'd have thought I'm getting killed. You got to think I'm losing everything. Now that's most people out there. That's how they were. They went in at 12 cents, held it, watched it go down to a penny, and they're just dead. And they won't even break even until it goes back to 12 cents. With me, I've taken $151,000 of closed profitable trades off the table on the wiggles, and my inventory is only down 85,000. And that's because it's gone straight down. You know, a lot of wiggles. I've taken good money, but it kept going lower, 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 lower. And I'm like, fine, I got you sitting down there at the bottom. I got on a company that's worth probably $300 million, because these are real companies. People call them projects and all. That's like Intel. And this one here is like Google, GRT. That's another one, you know, a billion-dollar company. These are a billion-dollar company going for under a nickel a share. This is gold. And then you got to look. Then you got to think about the theory, or my theory of what's going on is, well, we already know some facts. 95% of the crypto is all held already by the big boys: BlackRock, Fidelity, the wealthy, the rich, the richest people. Tom Brady owns millions of dollars worth of crypto. Trump owns $7 billion worth of crypto. They didn't buy it all at the bottom. They bought it. They were adding while it was going lower. Now the difference is we're making more on a percentage basis than they're making, because they're just adding, adding, adding. We're actually taking profits the whole time. We're also adding if it goes lower, but we're taking profits on every wiggle. So we've got the market trapped, and we got them trapped at the bottom, and they just got to keep pumping us money. Look at this today's move. It's another beautiful down day. This discourages the public. They hate it. The public can't deal with this. Down 4.5%, down 3.5%, down 5%. It's freaking out the average guy out there. They don't know how to cope, because they're watching their account value go lower and lower and lower, but they're not taking any profits on any of the wiggles, so they're just dying. And that's why most people aren't in crypto. If any of you take any survey out there, and I do it all the time because I'm always talking crypto, if I'm in line in a store, or if I'm at Quest Diagnostics, the blood work place, yeah, I said the blood work place because this is the arm they always use to take the blood. um, I'll say, while I'm in there in the waiting room, I'll say, hey, anybody want to talk crypto? I just throw that out there. I mean, it's funny. And you know, sometimes they'll all just start looking away. It's like, oh my God, what did he mention that dirty word? Or or sometimes they'll all just laugh and they go, ha, like it's funny. And I'll laugh along with them like it's all a big joke. And I'm like, man, you guys are out of it. You are missing the biggest money grab in the history of our life.
Yeah.
Because, man, it's free money. In my opinion, it's free money. And some of the stuff I say is down is good. You can't own enough crypto, in my opinion, at this stage of the game. I mean, I'm not an investment advisor, so watch what, you know, don't blame me if anybody that loses, let me say this, anybody that loses money running an auto trader is the ones that couldn't cope with the fact that they're like, oh, my account's lower, you know, it's going down every day. This is garbage. It's like, all right, you have better software that could tell you when a coin's really going to go up next week or tomorrow.
Yeah.
But accumulating turns out to be a good thing, because it's giving you a chance to load up because you really need to be all in. You can't own enough crypto is what I say. You want to be all in, but you don't want to be all in at the top, because you don't know if it's going to drop 50% more lower. So
So,
you're kind of, so they're helping us actually by constantly lowering it, but while they're lowering it, they're wiggling it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's actually helping us because we keep, if you add that 356,000 back to my account value, that's 900,000. I mean, I'm just that the constant taking of money. And I mean, some people don't realize, some people don't save their profits. Like right now, I'm not saving my profits. I had 300,000 in there last year and I went and bought a Range Rover and I spent a couple 100,000. Um,
You have a couple, you
but
have a few different auto traders, Ed, for sure. And yeah, let's look at
yeah,
some.
I got 4 auto traders.
Yes.
But usually your default setting here is save 100% of your profits. All your profits go into your save bucket. So so it's just saved. So this number, your current profits saved should match the total profits taken.
And what's the
And all the
reason?
numbers add up. If you add up all these numbers down here from each individual trade down here, that's up here. If you add those numbers up, it will equal this number,
And what's
the
your
amount of
reasoning
profits
behind
you've taken.
saving profits, Ed, and putting them back in the market? You want to time that a little differently, or yeah, because
Do I want to what?
we can compound if we put, funds back towards the market, back into trade, but you're saying save them until, we turn
Save it
bullish
until
or
compounding is good if things are going up
yeah.
because you're throwing more money into something that's going higher.
Mm-hmm.
But compounding losses are not good, where you're just throwing more money in at the top while the coin's going lower. You're taking your profits and throwing it into this black hole, and it's using it all. I say save your profits. It's like the other day when L3, here it is here. L3 did that crazy jump. Actually, it was back on October 10th. Was this it? Nope, that's November. It's always doing these crazy runs up like that. It's like that was up 150% in one day. Can you imagine? Do you think Bitcoin will go up 150% in one day? I doubt it. So that's why I don't like Bitcoin. To me, it's a junk coin. It just doesn't even move. It's okay if you want to sit on it. And somebody asked the question just last week. I was on a different webinar. And they said, "Well, when do you think Bitcoin will go to 500,000?" And I'm like ready to laugh at the question, right? Like, really? You're going to ask that? I mean, it's sitting at 90,000. You're going to ask me, and you're going to ask when it's going to go to 100,000? But the other speakers, I was only a guest on this webinar, so I was letting the other speakers talk. And I was just sitting back, and they were like, "Well, my calculation is it'll hit 500,000 by 2030." And the other guy says, "No, I'm calculating 2028." I'm like, "Shut up. Please shut up. You guys,
You're like, just
what
trade
is
it, right?
that kind of, you really, you're gonna answer that? I mean, quit asking dumb questions. Nobody knows when it's gonna go to 500,000. I mean, if it'll even go to 500,000 in our lifetime." I mean, it's just crazy, man. People say asking stuff like that, and then they get answers. If you go to the internet and try to go to a crypto board and even try to talk intelligently about the crypto market, like maybe a strategy like I'm talking about, they'll say, "Get out of here, scammer." But if somebody says, "Do you think it'll go to 200,000 by tomorrow afternoon?" He'll get 50 responses, and everybody's happy. They love those kind of questions.
Funny.
You know,
Hey, Ed,
really dumb questions.
yeah.
You notice the wiggles, how they go straight up and down. This is another thing. In the stock market, prices move like this, like they just kind of move along slowly. In the crypto market, the prices jump around, they jump up and down. And that's the beauty of what I love about cryptos. When I turned on cryptos for the auto trader for the first time in 2021, 4 years ago, after doing just stocks for 21 years, as soon as I turned that crypto trader on, I went, "Oh my God, I'm done with stocks, man. This is gold to an auto trader. These prices are jumping around 30% up, 50% up. I mean, it's just a joke." I'm trying to find October 10th, I'm going back to. I mean, this coin is just doing these crazy moves. sometimes people will ask, should I stop my auto trader from buying more because the price is going so low? Well, the software already calculated, it planned for it to go that low and lower. As soon as you bought the coin, see, here's the difference between a normal person and a computer. When you manually buy a coin, in your mind, you're thinking that coin's going to go up right now. That's why I'm buying it. The auto trader is saying, I'm going to buy this coin and I have full expectation that that coin's going to drop to the bottom. So it's doing money management to make sure that you have enough money reserved to go down there. So some of you see your trades aren't real big up here, and a lot of times somebody will send me email and they'll say, "Well, how do I make it use more money right, I want more of my money being used." And I'm like, "No, you want to go all in. You want to be a buy and holder." And because if you use up all the money at the top, what do you do when the coin drops 50%? You're just dead. Then you have no money. And if you stop it from trading up there and the coin drops 50%, you don't have any money to buy down here. You're just sitting here. The coin's going up and down. One person on the internet said cryptos are no good because they're too volatile. You need to just buy and hold and wait for it to go higher. And I said, dude, the volatility's there whether you take advantage of it or not. You're a buy and holder. You're just not taking advantage of the volatility. You're letting it go up and down. I don't let the market breathe without paying me.
Yeah.
That's my punishment to the market. You messed with the wrong guy, baby.
Well, let's look at the settings, Ed, where you can adjust and look at the
This
trade
is what I
window.
wanted to show them. This 30%
Okay,
drop right here on October 10th. This
gotcha.
thing happened just a couple months ago. It went straight down. And I'll tell you, I went crazy. I was laughing so hard when it did that. Because it did that like in 5 minutes. Boom, it went all the way down there. And then normally I don't endorse manual trading, but I couldn't help it, man. I logged into one of my other accounts. I started buying. I'll take 5,000 more of that one, 10,000 more of that one. Thank you. And what did it do over the next couple of days? It sold it there, bought it back, sold it there, had multiple buys and sells the whole time, and it just went right back up, and it's just profit wise, I'm sitting all the way up here and the prices are down here because it really doesn't even matter where these kind of wiggles, don't ignore this. Drops like that are gold because when the price goes back up here, anything you own below this price up here is just sold off. Anything you own that you bought here is just all sold off. And then it's just constantly going up and down. I mean, I call the market an insult to humanity. Why it's just free money. But nobody is taking advantage of this free money. That's the thing.
Wow, that's why
Maybe
you
that's
come
why they're
on,
not
Ed.
stopping me. I don't think somehow I need to be stopped, but I'm not violating any laws.
I know.
Nobody said you can't buy a coin at one price and keep track of that individual lot. Separate it from all the other buys and say, I bought this one at 1 and I'm going to sell it at 2. That is a 100% return. Thank you. Thanks for the free money. Because this is just an insult to humanity, really.
Well,
The market is a
we're
joke.
grateful for your passion and that you created this, so we can all take advantage of it. But
Yeah. So this is your trader here. This is what you see every day. You can see all the trades that it's making, all the buys and sells on the lower right here. You can see, some days you have a lot of selling going on and, one day, and sometimes you have a lot of buying going on. It's no different than a 7-Eleven. You put product on the shelf and you sell it at a higher price. Only doing proper money management. Look what happened on January 27th. ACH, this is the beauty. It went from 2 cents to 5.6 cents in 5 days. I mean, that was almost a 200% return. Thank you. It's not like I did anything. The auto trader did it all.
that's
The
great.
auto trader loaded up on inventory and then just dumped it all off. And the nice thing is, while it was going up, you notice these opens in the middle. So while it was going higher, it would do these little pullbacks, and then the software would buy more, and then it would go higher. All in 5 days, it went all the way to almost 6 cents, which is so cool. Free money, and it does that over and over. You just keep taking money. In the long run, you really can't lose. As long as the coin stays in business Or in my case, even if ACH went out of business, they can never get this 151,000 back. My other trader is up 350,000 and it's down 150,000 on the open inventory.
Mhm.
So, I've got ACH in multiple accounts and it's just free money. This
So,
I don't even look at my trader unless I'm doing a webinar, really. I don't even bother to look at them because I
so
know the auto trader is taking every dollar that market's willing to give it. And what I mean by that is if you're running a 7-Eleven, because I hear people say it a lot, I want to make $1,000 a day, stuff like that. You can't, if you own a 7-Eleven, you can't sell $50 bags of potato chips. Nobody's going to buy them. You have to sell a lot of $4 bags.
yeah,
You can't dictate to the market what to give you. And you can only take what the market is willing to bear. And in the 7-Eleven example, the market is willing to bear $4 bags of potato chips. The public is willing to buy them at $4. Start charging $10 a bag, $20 a bag, nobody's going to buy them. You have to go by what the market's willing to bear. The market is in control here. We're just exploiting the market's moves.
yeah. Well, there's your inventory right next to ACH, that 22 lots, Doge is 20 lots, GRT 34. Those are,
Yeah, it shows all the inventory that I'm sitting on. 22 lots of ACH. That means it went down 22 times. Record, down lower lows. And that means I've got the market completely trapped because anytime it tries to picture each finger as one lot, I've got all this inventory. And if the coin tries to go, say it jumps 10%, I've got three of these lots that are going to sell off. Boom, profitable.
mhm.
Say it jumps 50%, boom, all this disappears. And then I have inventory up here still. But then if it goes lower, I'm just buying it all back. So
Yeah.
I've got a well-seasoned auto trader has lots of inventory. And I didn't know this on day one, all right? 4 years ago. But I learned it. It's like, whoa, the more inventory I have, like when that L3 went up 150% in one day, couple of weeks ago. Let's talk about free money. I just sold off all my L3 inventory. The software did. Boom. That's all gone. And then it went right back down. And I'm like, I love you, man. I love Microsoft more at $30 than I do at $500 a share.
Well, let's look at behind the scenes, Ed, some of the settings that people can play with in the trade window, because I think that's important. And that the money management that the auto trader is kind of built in.
When you sign up, it already gives you three default coins that are really good. I can tell you what they are, whether you sign up or not. They're still good. They're good for volatility. I don't know how good these companies are as far as, well, I know these coins are good. ACH, Alchemy Pay, Dogecoin, The Graph, HBAR. Yeah, these are real good companies in themselves, in their own standing. They're real good companies, but I don't really care about that. I have another auto trader where I went to the highest trade count report. That's the report where we show the biggest movers, the ones that
Yeah.
wiggle the most. And we'll go into that in a second. But I just grabbed the top 5 coins off that list in another trader a couple months ago. I opened that one, threw 150,000 in there, and just opened and just took the top 5 movers, biggest movers, and it just takes free money, constant every day, just about every day. So you put your coins in. It shows how much money there is allocated for each one, the funds used and the funds remaining. And now these three settings here, add as prices go down. So you can add to losers while the price is going lower. You can also add to advancers while it's going higher. And then you tell it allow it to sell profitably. But for the one, you notice I said don't add to advancers on the ones where I'm not where I'm selling them anyways. Because why add if it's going higher? If I'm just going to sell it. Let it go higher, and when it wiggle, if it's going higher, I'm going to sell the inventory I already own. But it's also going to wiggle. So every time it pulls back, I'm going to buy more and then sell it. I don't need to be adding while it's going higher. Okay. If it was a radically bull market, then yeah, why not add while it's going higher? But you're also going to be selling them off pretty fast. But in a down market, I'm saying slow down on the adding to advancers. So some of you who already own an auto trader, you can see what I've done there. I said don't add to advancers on the ones that are going higher. I want to reserve more money if I can for the bottom, for when things are going lower. But if I'm dollar cost averaging, that means I'm just adding to the advancer and the decliner, and I'm not closing positions. Some people do that. They have like XRP. I think I might have it in this account. Yeah. So I'm accumulating the XRP. I'm not selling it off. I'm just letting, because everybody says it's going to go to 500,000 or whatever. I don't believe any of that anyway. But, a lot of people do it, so I got to piggyback what they're doing. I want to see what they're doing, and it can't hurt me anyways. I can't get hurt with anything I do here. I mean, it's just free money. In the long run, you're going to see that. And once you have an auto trader, you never look at the market. You don't even look at the world the same anymore
Mhm.
because you're just walking through this land. It's just a joke. All those years of thinking the whole market was so complex and everything, and oh, so many people know more than me. It's like, no, they don't.
Mhm.
I quit thinking that a long time ago.
All
But
right.
I mean, they don't know anything. They're all out there gambling and hoping that it goes up. All those other bots that they have out there, they only popped up in the last few years. They didn't exist the whole time I was doing stocks from 2001 all the way to 2021. There were no bots for the stock market.
Right.
But all of a sudden we got cryptos, and trading cryptos and trading stocks are exactly the same. There's really no difference at all.
It's more
Zero
volatility. Yeah.
difference. But yet we got all these bots for cryptos, and we didn't have those same bots for the stock market. Why not?
I think it's the
And they're all
volatility, Ed, and
baloney.
all the, yeah, that's probably so. But let's scroll down and see what else we got here.
So there's nothing down here on this page. This is the select currencies. This is where you put in your
Oh,
currencies. If I want to add another currency, I can just put it in here. I can
mhm.
just type in another symbol here.
But you don't
I
really
can say
recommend trading with more than like three to
three
five
to five coins. Three to
Yeah.
five coins is all I would trade. I only added a lot of these coins in the last month.
Yeah.
Okay, just because all these coins are sitting at the bottom at this stage of the game, and I
Yeah.
have a lot of money anyway, so I didn't care. Um, but I really highly recommend 3 to 5 coins max.
Hmm.
People, if you're trading, see, the problem is if you're trading with 10 coins, and if I spread the funds equally, you know, you would be at 10%, 10%, 10%. You're dividing your money up too thin. That's the problem with this many coins. As opposed to 3 coins would be 34% for one coin, 33% for that one, 33% for the next one. You
Yeah.
want to have a good bucket of money to trade those 3 coins or 5 coins. You want to have a good bucket of money working with those coins. If you spread it out, like I know one guy that has 50 coins. 50 coins are listed in his trader, and he's got 2% of his money going in each coin. Can you imagine if I said 2% of this money, I'd be trading with $16,000 instead of $140,000. See, and the problem is when he gets a big jump in that coin, he really doesn't have any money in it. He's got 2% of his money divided up into each coin. So that's why we don't recommend a lot of coins. The best traders, and I can see everybody's trader, by the way. The top traders only have 3 to 5 coins. That's it. The next screen Francine wanted me to go to was this edit strategy. These are all under the menu. You got select currencies where you put in the symbols. You got edit strategy where you can change the strategy. The strategy, unlike my old system that had 10 screens of things you could do to destroy yourself, this one only has one screen of things you can do to destroy yourself. But you're not going to destroy yourself. There's really hardly anything to do here. I mean,
Yeah.
really, who changes anything? You really shouldn't mess with the AI, enable AI. You're not going to turn that off. The max lots of 2 says if the coin is dropping fast, like it drops 3, say you're adding on 3% drops, it drops 3% and you buy, and it buys, and then it drops 3% again and you buy again. I don't want to buy anymore for the rest of the day. That coin might drop 17% more during the day. After midnight Eastern time, it'll start a new day, and if the coin's down that far, it'll go ahead and buy more. But but some people are eager to get in right away, and they'll say, I'm willing to buy 10 times. So if a coin drops 50%, they might end up buying a lot. I don't want to. I don't want to buy like a crazy person on the way down. Buy while it's crashing. Just let it go two in a day. There's
And it's
no rush. The urgency that people think is there isn't, there's no urgency.
Yeah, so I just want to remind everybody on that note too, Ed, that a lot of people when they first start, they're like, "Why isn't it putting more money to work?" It's because we'll get to this at the bottom of this screen, but there's a trade window. The default is down 75%. So we're just, that's why I call it my conservative long-term over time because we're spreading funds out. We have some money management piece of it, and we don't want to run out of money. So if you're just
Take it
gonna
easy,
shrink
right?
your trade window and go all in at the top, you don't need an auto trader. You should just go buy it and buy some crypto and sit on it, right? But go
Yeah,
ahead, yeah.
if you just want to gamble, there's 60-minute pauses between the buys. It's like take it easy because if the coin's going lower and you buy, wait an hour before you buy it again. Give the market time to move. Let the market breathe. Let it go wherever it wants to go. You don't have to be jumping in there. It's down 3%. Hurry, buy. It's like relax, man. Give it an hour and watch where it goes. You'll be surprised where it goes. It
And
could
just
drop 20% more in
and
that
just
hour, and then you
just
get it 20% lower.
Yeah, and just to remind everybody too that just because the settings are, let's say, buy or sell up or down 3%, it will always call the AI first before it buys down 3% because the AI is really good at predicting like the next few minutes, next maybe 20 minutes of where the price could go. And then it'll hold off and it'll keep pinging the AI until the AI is like, okay, I don't think I'm not going to go any lower.
I
And
don't
then
see
it'll
it
do the
going
buy.
lower. The AI
Yeah.
is good for about 30 minutes out. What AI is a snapshot of all those 27 indicators. It's a snapshot of the overall market. A picture, boom, there it is. Now, the AI is pattern recognition, and it goes back 25 years looking at those indicators and those patterns, and it says, I've seen that pattern 1,000 times, and 98% of the time the coin goes lower when that happens, when that picture shows up.
Mhm.
And that's a rudimentary way of saying it, but because the AI does it way more sophisticated than that. But that's generally what it's doing
Mhm.
because it can create patterns that you wouldn't even imagine. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at while it's running and you look at the patterns, you go, whoa, because it's assigning different values to each indicator, which is remarkable. Kind of like if you were going to put a value on, if one of the indicators is it raining out today? And you'd say, well, who cares if it's raining out? That's like a low value indicator, right? I mean, whether the coin's going to go higher or not, whether it's raining outside. However, if this was an AI, if that was an indicator for the horse races, that would hold a lot of value. Some horses can't run in the rain or run in the mud, so then that would be a high value indicator. So if the AI sees this and it's I'm going to assign a 1% value to that indicator, to the is it raining indicator, whereas if it was the horse races it might say I'm going to assign 99% value to that indicator. So it's assigning different values to all the different indicators in a way that you could never do it manually. I mean, that's what AI is all about. I've been doing AI since 1989. For That's a
Very
lot of
cool.
years. Everything I do is just keeps getting longer and longer, right? Years and
Yeah.
years.
Me too, Ed. Me too. All right, let's go
But
back.
when I was at Microsoft and they sent me to an AI class in Maryland, they just shot me over there for 2 weeks because we were getting 1 million phone calls a day for support. You can imagine how big Microsoft was. And we were filling up buildings full of support people. But the problem is, we also had to fill up buildings full of phone handlers to figure out where to send the message, to send the phone call. So then they said, we need you to figure out using AI. Somebody figured out that we need AI. Yeah, I certainly didn't. But anyways, they shot me off to that class, and I had to come back and be able to fill that call automatically and determine who the support person it should go to instantly.
Very cool.
You want to talk pressure, but I was used to it. I'm a high pressure
Yeah,
programmer.
that was a pressure cooker
So
there.
yeah, those were the days. But let me go back to the indicators. So this $500 here, the default is 100. unless you're going to come in with $600,000 or something, you might want to raise that. You can easily raise it. What that says is don't even if you see $500 or more, just take it. Just grab the money. Don't look at AI, don't look at anything. Just grab the $500. If the coin just goes bip and you're up $500, take the money. You know why? Because 10 seconds later it's going to go bip and be right back down to where it was 10 seconds ago. So, so you grab the money fast when it does crazy moves. My other trader has a lot more money in it. I've got that set to $10,000 because it was kept because it will if you see on the screen the reason for the trade, um, if it says like this is the reason. If you see too many of these, take this amount if reached, take this amount if reached. That means it hit the $500 and it just grabbed it. Even though I said take 500, it took 900 here. It took 642 there. But I feel like if you're getting too many of those, it's cutting off your profits too much. You don't want it to be the routine way you make money. You
Mhm.
want the auto trader to be able to just take $36, $400, $22. But if every one of these is the reason was because you hit a max on what you said you wanted, then you need to raise the number.
Yeah.
You don't want it to get in the way of the trading. Um, the next thing is I have it set to 5%. Why 5? I used to have it at 3. For 4 years, we had it at 2%. Um, and then just before the election last year, I determined that the market needs to be moving more. We're getting more of these, whoops. We're getting more numbers like this, 3.44%, 3.61. That was all over 2%. So I said, let's raise that number to 3 last year, and then now I've changed it. Now
Mhm.
I've changed it to 5% because I feel like I kind of want to punish the market a little bit. You went all the way down there, you took us to the bottom. Now you're gonna have to give me at least 5% for every trade. I'm not giving you I don't want just 3%. Now I want 5.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we don't
So
wait for
that
pullbacks. This was a common one in the stock market. Once you reached your profit goal, you kind of wait for a coin or a stock to drop a quarter or something. Wait for it to pull back a little before you get out. You don't do that in the crypto market because a coin could pull back 5% instantly and just take away all your profits. So that should always be 0. I'm considering getting rid of that indicator. Just
yeah.
like I got rid of 10 screens worth of indicators, I can easily remove indicators. I
Mhm.
can get rid of that one too. Um, the next one is lot size options. You notice we're doing equal funds per trade. That means you don't care. You're going to invest the same amount of money if you open a coin up here or you open it down 70% lower. If I open it up down there, the same amount of money is going to get invested in that coin. So I'm going to make the same amount. Profits per trade is going to be the same regardless of where the price goes.
But isn't the default equal shares, Ed?
No, it's equal funds.
Okay.
It may have changed. It changed. This one didn't used to exist. There were other rules that I got rid of there. People trying to tell it, I want to trade in $1,000 lot sizes. You got a $3,000 account. Believe me, you don't want to trade in $1,000 lot sizes. You'll burn through all your money in 3 trades. So
But
I
it's
had to get rid of those.
but when the system calculates it, if the coin's down 20% since you started, it'll be a lower dollar amount. I mean, because the
No, no,
overall
we
account
changed
value
it to
is
equal
lower.
funds.
Oh,
Now we change it to equal funds, so it'll be the
okay.
same amount of money per trade.
Oh, so it reserves that. Okay, that's
So
interesting.
if you have equal shares, some of you, maybe since I changed this
Yeah,
last year, you want to flip it to equal funds.
got it.
Um, and then add shares on 3% drops. And that doesn't mean you're really going to add on 3% drops because it might drop 3%, but you're waiting an hour since your last buy, which might have been 15 minutes ago. So
Hmm.
you're going to let it even go lower. Or AI could say, hold on, don't take that trade yet. The price is going to go lower within the next half hour. So there's a lot of times you're not just adding on 3% drops, you might be adding on a 20% drop or a 12% drop. The next one it's an important one, really. Picture, I'm going to say I'm going to buy it 40 times. That means if I'm adding on 3% drops, if I'm the default is 25 lots. Here's the default. If I add on a 3% drop, I buy on 3% lower and buy it again and buy it again and buy it again. And I do that 25 times. 3 times 25 is a 75% trading window. That'll cover you all the way down to a 75% drop in the coin. Most coins don't ever go down that far. And if it does go down that far, it's okay because that means one of your coins ran out of money. Well, let's take a look at what happens when it runs out of money real fast. Show you how to handle that. Say this one here ran out of money. Any one of these coins runs out of money. Like this one here had, you know, just a lot of trades and it used up most of the money, like 160,000. I can always hit spread funds equally and just borrow from the other coins that didn't use their money.
Mm-hmm.
And spread funds equally just puts them all equal. It puts them close enough to dividing up your money, your funds that are available.
Yeah.
Or you can always go to your current profits saved. That's another one. You can always say, okay, well, I'm going to borrow money from there. And usually, if you're saving 100%, which is the default, you'll have a big bucket of money there. And you can always go here and release it. Say I had $100,000 in here in my saved. I could come here and I could say, let's take minus 10,000 out of that.
Mm-hmm. Put it back
And
in.
that would lower your profit saved to 90,000. Then the other 10,000 would go to the auto trader and let it use it. As long as I don't save changes on that screen, it's not going to do anything.
Cool.
So that's why. Now here's where the gambling comes in. Some people say I want it using more of my money. Okay, well, you see what it says right here? All funds except your profits saved will be used within those 25 lots. That means it's going to squeeze all your money into 25 lots. If you said one lot, then that means it would take all your money that you have allocated for that coin and buy one time, and it would put all that money in play right there. It would use it all. 25 lots, it spreads it out so that you could go down 25, be able to buy it 25 times down. Now, where most people gamble this is where they'll gamble. They'll change it to 10 lots and they'll say, I just want a 30% trading window. Well, that means when the coin drops 30%, you will have allocated all your funds within that you had allocated for that coin into that 30% window. And then when the coin drops 40% more, you don't have any money to trade with. Unless you do what I said, you'd have to go there and get money out of your save bucket or spread your funds equally that you have allocated for for these coins to borrow money from other coins. But if you're saying 30% on all these coins are down more than 30%. So you'd already be dead in a down market if you did that.
Right.
So, but the settings are already there. For any of you folks who don't own an auto trader yet, if you sign up, it already tells you 3 default coins that are really great, and we're going to go here and look at them now. We'll go to...
Yeah, and then we could go take a peek at the top trader report so people know a little bit about that, Ed.
how much they make, how much
Yeah.
other people have made in the last year.
Right.
Um, but this is the highest. This report here is it's the top trader. It's the highest counts report. It's closed trades, and every closed trade is a profitable trade in GoBabyTrade. We never sell at a loss. All right. So this is showing previous year's trades, 1,485 trades. And 1,438 trades, 1,343 trades. I mean, I want to trade coins that have a lot of trades, a lot of activity. If I go to the bottom of this report, you start looking at coins that like 122 trades in a year. Or here's Bitcoin even on line 393. It's
Yeah.
almost laughable. 129 trades in a year. It simply doesn't move enough. This is where the public just kills me because they don't understand stuff. They'll look down here and say it's an up day and the coin is up 900. It's down $931 today, but say it's up 1,000. They don't realize that that's less than a 1% move. And these other coins are moving 5%, 10%, 30%.
Yeah.
And Bitcoin, they see it up $2,000. That's still under a 2% move in the coin. It's not even hardly moving.
And
And this,
the top trader
pardon
is
me?
based on like up or down 2% or 3% moves. This is for 2%, right, Ed?
No, it's 3%.
Oh, it's
I
3%.
raised it
Okay.
to three.
Right.
And then I raised, a lot of people are doing 5% moves now.
Yeah.
Profit goals at 5%, which I haven't changed the report for that. But it's like if you were running a 7-Eleven. Oh, if you were running a 7-Eleven,
You want
I
product that
never
moves.
owned a I never owned a 7-Eleven, but I can imagine how it would work. You're not going to call 1,000 distributors that distribute your food. I'm not going to call each, the coffee guy, the vape guy, the vapes and the candy guy and a potato chip guy. You're going to deal with one distributor that deals with all that, and they're going to show you a similar report. Someone actually emailed that report to me when they heard me use it in an example, even though I never actually saw the report before. He actually emailed me the report. He said, "You're right. They do have a distributor report that shows you the highest moving items." You guys want to see it, or do we have time?
Oh, let's just go back to the top of this report, maybe,
All
Ed.
right.
Yeah,
But
I want to be
anyways, it,
respectful.
it showed the top moving items in the 7-Eleven, and that's what you want to trade. That's what you want in your store, fast moving items.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I don't smoke vapes. Doesn't matter to me. If it's the number one item on my list, I'm selling it. I'm selling vapes if I'm running a 7-Eleven. I'm not here to make political statements. I'm here to make money. And that's the thing, it sounds like a greedy thing, but you're not. What are we in this whole market for? To make money. That's what it's for. 100%. That is what we're in this for, is to just make money. I don't care what the company is or what their project is. I frankly don't care. They're a crypto. They move a lot. They're available at Coinbase and Kraken. I'm trading them. That's it. It doesn't matter to me what their business is. Some of these coins, I don't know what they do. Now I can click on the link like Swift here. I can just click on it and it'll take me to their website and I can see what they do. A lot of them are blockchain related. Now what that means is that's an interesting thing because that means they're the foundation of cryptos. Like GRT, they graph GRT. They
Mhm.
get 2 billion hits a day with their APIs. Now, I can't imagine where those hits are coming from unless they're being called every time a trade occurs
Mhm. Yeah, it's
anywhere in the
important
world.
technologies. Yeah, for sure.
Because it's security, it's verifying wallet addresses. If the source of the is coming from this address and the destination is this other address, is it getting hijacked along the way, kind of thing. So they're being called a lot. So they're
Okay.
being called 2 billion times a day or more. Um, so you can click on a coin on a symbol to see what their website. You can
Right.
see whether they're a meme coin. A lot of people don't like meme coins, so they only want to trade utility coins. So you can see, Swift is a utility, SPA is a utility. This one I haven't looked it up yet. Um, but these are meme coins, so you could skip
Yeah.
over those. Go down to your next utility coin is PRCL. It's on line 8. 1,200 trades a year. I'll take that.
But
Thank you.
I always, I always
XCN.
I always tell people too, Ed, that, sometimes the top traders like this week aren't going to be the top traders for, 2 months ago. But when people start and they pick their handful, to depending on what their underlying account value is, we're not switching coins all the time. We're sticking with those because they're always going to land in like the top 30 or so, and there's so much
Yeah, they're
volatility.
always
We
staying
just
near the
leave
top.
them. We're not micromanaging.
SPA
Like
and Swift.
I have
These
this.
two
Okay.
coins, these two coins have been one and two, number one and two, for the last 6 months. This lock-in just popped in, last 2 days ago, 3 days ago on
But there's
December
some others
1st.
people have like Pepe and Ondo, and those are still on in the list,
They're
but it's
still
on the,
good.
but yeah, they're still good. So we're not, I don't want people to just feel like they have to switch out coins because we have good inventory and
I would never do that
you never want to sell
because
anything at a loss because in the trader
yeah, to switch out of
that.
ACH, I would have to sell $85,000 worth of losing coins that are underwater. I would never do that. There's
Yeah.
a lot of value in having a lot of inventory of a coin. 34 lots. I call that a well-seasoned auto trader. Has a lot of inventory. Because then I've got the market. It takes a long time to accumulate that much inventory. The market's got to drop a lot, and I've got the market trapped all the way from the bottom to the top, man, for the rest of my life. Do you realize these guys are gonna have to keep paying me? I am like the tax man. You can't move that coin 5% up without giving me money for the rest of my life. Talk
So,
about an annuity. I
Ed, I want
love it, man. I got the market trapped at the bottom of a big down market. Watch when this market turns up. Watch when that 4 year downtrend turns into a 4 year uptrend, and I'm selling all this inventory off that I accumulated over the last 4 years. Plus the wiggles while it's buying and selling more along the way up.
yeah.
It's gonna be just free money. I love it,
So,
man.
I
I
want to
mean,
have
there's nothing better than it's the greatest thing ever. And most people, I should say, a lot of people are selling their rental properties, they're mortgaging their houses. I put a video on the internet that says don't mortgage your house because I see what they're doing. They're just saying I can mortgage my house on an 8% loan and throw it into an auto trader that's going to give me 50 to 100% a year in a down market. Watch what this thing does in an up market. Then you're talking hundreds of a percent a year, 1,000% a year. When I turned on the auto trader for the first time in April of 21, that was 6 months before the crypto winter started, before October of 21. So when I turned on that crypto trader, man, in April of 21, man, I was getting 20 trades a day. These coins were flying all over the place, man. And I had my laptop sitting on the bedstand next to my on the nightstand next to my bed. And in the morning, I would wake up and I'd reach over and I lift up the lid on the laptop to see how many thousands I made while I was sleeping. I mean, it was the greatest thing ever. And then I saw the crypto crash start in October of 21. As soon as I saw that slide down, I said, I've seen that before. They did it to us in 90 in what, in 87, that 87 stock crash. They did it in the 2000 market crash. They did it in 2008. As soon as I saw that, I said, yep, the big boys want in now because they watched what happened in the year before that when the cryptos were really flying, and they said we want in. And when the big boys want in, they want all of us out. They want us to sell everything we own because they want to own it all.
yeah.
And they've been driving this market down for 4 years doing that, and it's working for them because if you talk to the public, they're all out.
Yeah.
Everybody's missing the biggest money grab in the history of our generation, of our lifetime. This is going to be the big one. You missed this one, then you missed it. Keep
Yeah.
working, keep going to work.
So Ed,
You're gonna miss if you miss this one, you missed the big one.
I want to
And I'm not, I got them trapped, man. It's so great because I had a 21-year jump on them creating the software.
so
So it's like I was ready, prepared. This auto trader was made for the crypto market.
yeah, so that yeah, it's awesome, and I want to have some time for questions. So we have a couple
Hmm.
in the chat. So why don't we can pull up the top trader report, and while you're doing that, Glenn had
Yeah.
a quick question about how you determine the percentages for each coin. We usually just initially split them the same, right? Unless you,
Yeah, I don't mess around. I just hit in the beginning when I first load my money in. I'm starting with cash, USD or USDC. I just hit spread percents equally,
right?
and it just divides them equal. This trader only started with 5 coins initially, so it was 20% per coin. And then later on, as they're all trading in different,
Right.
this one used a lot more money than the one below it. It used half the amount of money, or double the money. So if I would have left it at equal, he would have used through all his money, and he would still have 31,000 left, and he's
Yeah.
used all his money also.
Yes.
But if I spread funds equally now, I'm just taking the remaining money that was
Mhm.
available for all the coins and spreading that money equally.
Always equally. Yeah. Thanks, Ed, for explaining that. And
Spread funds equally.
yeah,
But
let
I
me.
don't I don't try to cherry pick things. Some people say, "Well, I'm gonna put 5% for that one, 20% for that one." I don't do that. I
Yeah.
don't. It doesn't really matter. But I don't even want to look at this stuff. I just want it to grind out money, and I've discovered that I don't need that kind of granularity.
Right, right. So Luis has a
Go
couple
ahead. I
questions.
think Glenn has still got a follow-up question.
No, it's Luis is in the, well, let's, Luis, go ahead. And if you have another question, Glenn, just, I want to do them and make sure.
Yeah, thank you,
But I
Francine.
didn't hear you. You're muted, I think, but, uh,
Luis,
Yeah, thank you, Ed, and thank you, Francine. So I
yeah.
had a couple of questions, and they were more technical. Um,
Mm-hmm.
because my goal is to see if I find a way to invest with my IRA, right? And I know there are ways to do that, but I still wanted to check with you guys in terms of like technical stuff, like the exchanges that you allow, GoBabyTrade to connect to are
there's only
Coinbase,
two.
Kraken, only
That's it.
Coinbase and Kraken, right?
Coinbase and
Right.
Kraken.
And
Luis.
if you go to Rocket Dollar,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you know them already. They work
yeah,
with
yeah. I
Kraken.
I saw them online that you can
Oh,
do.
all right.
So
Okay.
I'll I'll
That's
talk.
the
I'll
only
talk.
place I would tell people to go because that's all I
Okay,
know.
so Rocket Dollar. Okay, so if I go to Rocket Dollar, I can set up my account in the
Your
name of my
IRA
IRA, of
with
course,
Kraken and
and,
Kraken.
and
They
it's
work
gonna
with
be just
Kraken.
basically, and it's gonna do the
Yeah.
same that you're talking about. It's gonna
Well,
pick up
Luis,
everything, right?
you gotta be sure, Luis, because a lot of the IRA custodians, I haven't looked at that Rocket one, but when I did research
Yeah.
for somebody else, you're only allowed to trade in your IRA at like a handful of cryptos, and it's usually the bigger ones. And those guys charge trading fees every time, like outrageous trading fees. So
Oh,
it's
you better, yeah, I guess do that
it,
research,
yeah,
for
so be
sure.
sure you do that research because sometimes it's just worth it to take the 10% penalty and put your funds in the trader. And I'm not a financial advisor or
Oh,
anything
yeah,
like
no,
that.
Rocket
So
Dollar works with Kraken. You're trading your account through the
Right. That
GoBabyTrade
that's
software
that's
through the
that's the thing.
API.
That's what Ed is talking about. That's exactly it,
okay.
right? I
Yeah.
know that the system, GoBaby Trade system, it attaches, it connects directly to the
Yeah, that's the
account.
same as
And
it.
as
That's
long
the same
as
with
you
the
have
other
the
ones.
account there, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if the account is held on an IRA or your personal name because it's going to trade the account, right?
Right.
Right. It could be an
Perfect.
LLC.
That's all I
You
wanted to
could
know.
own you could own your own LLC.
All right. Well, I'm
Yeah,
definitely going to look at that, but yeah, just double check on fees and all of
sure.
that and make sure. Yeah. Okay, Glenn. Yeah.
And
Did
you
you
can
have?
always call Francine and she'll help you.
Yeah,
And we
yeah.
are always, and that wasn't, by the way, that wasn't a joke. I mean, we work with everybody, We don't leave
Yeah.
anybody hanging. We don't have anyone hanging. Because once you're set up, you're done. You're done with this planet, man. You walk through this planet like it's a joke, and
And
the
can I
land of the brainwashed.
can I ask you a follow-up question in that
Mm-hmm.
sense? Because I know you said something earlier, Ed, about not letting your money compound.
Mm-mm.
But can you let it
I
compound?
let it save, let it accumulate, because
Right.
later on, when this market turns into an uptrend, you want to have a big bucket of saved money. Because when that market starts turning up, then you can start releasing it in tranches, 10,000, 25,000. You can release it as the market's trending up. Because right now we're getting nothing but good news in the crypto market for the last 6 months. But yet the coins are going lower and lower and lower. Why? Because the whales, the wealthy, want to buy at the lowest prices. And it serves two purposes. By
They want
lowering
to
the
accumulate more.
price, you're scaring the little guy out. When the little guy is selling, who do you think's buying? We are, and so are the wealthy, and so is BlackRock and all those guys. They're doing it's kind of like the Hunt brothers did a run for the silver market. I think it was around 2010, and of course they weren't successful. There's too much silver out there, but they're trying to corner the crypto market. They're trying to own all the crypto, and I think they own 95% of it right now. So they've left very little left for everybody else, and they're able to buy at the lowest, ridiculously, and I call it an insultingly low prices. I mean, this coin has no business being under a penny. No way. No way. And this one has no business being under a nickel. No way. That should be a $2 or even a $20 coin. And this guy here should be probably $50. It's going for a nickel. They are loading up It's unbelievable the grab they're doing. That's why I keep trying to tell people you can't own enough crypto, but you don't want to just jump in and buy it all at once. Let the software do it because it's doing proper money management and risk management. And so it makes sure you're always in the game trading because that's the secret. It doesn't matter where the price goes, where it's the volatility that matters. Give me coins that move a lot. And that's the name of the game. It's but it takes the auto trader months to accumulate that many lots. Like I have, like I said, 22 lots, 20 lots
Mm-hmm.
of Doge, 34 lots of GRP. Some people think I'm trying to be a salesman by like I'm telling them, just get in. You got to get in. Every day you're not in. Number one, you're not adding to your inventory and you're missing unbelievable. We've had beautiful down days. These last couple of months have been almost just straight down. It's like this is gold, man. I was loving it because I always worry that when people first come in, if the market just goes straight up, you're buying something and then selling it right away, buying it and then selling it right away. I want to accumulate a lot because then that traps the market. That means if they make a big move, I make big money because I got a lot of lots to sell off at once. Whereas if you're just coming in, you got one lot. 100% move on that one lot means you only sold one lot higher. As opposed to me, I'm going to have 30 lots that I can sell higher, at higher prices, bigger money. It's like the example I used with the Starbucks or 7-Eleven. If you only have one bag of potato chips on the shelf and a school bus full of kids pulls in, you're only going to sell one bag of potato chips. I don't care how many people come in, you only got one bag of chips on the shelf, that's all you're going to sell. But if you have 50 bags of potato chips on that shelf, you're going to sell a lot of bags of potato chips. You got to have inventory. Look at this as a 7-Eleven without the bricks and mortar, without employees, nobody stocking shelves. You don't have to have licenses or anything. I mean, man, you're running a 7-Eleven without any of the overhead. This is beautiful. And it's 100% automated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or let's see, Glenn, did you have a follow-up question real quick? And then,
Oh, yeah, can you hear me?
yes.
Yes.
Ed, what's your opinion in terms of why the market is so depressed right now, the crypto market? Is it the whales
That's
primarily?
you know what? They're doing a grab. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not an investment advisor. Let me throw that out there. I always have to say that legally. I don't want you to come back saying, he said this. Hey man, I'm just guessing, but I've been doing this 25 years. I think my guesses are pretty accurate, and I've been watching them screw the market over, screw the people over for years, and they rip everybody off. Just like in the 2000 crash, they ran all those tech stocks down into the ground, and I was in a lot of those. 60% of my wealth vaporized. I still had a lot left, but nobody wants to be robbed. And I just said, you picked on the wrong guy. I was retired already 5 years, bored to death, because I retired at 39. And when he did that, I said, you picked on the wrong guy, baby. I'm going to hurt you now. I'm going to automate this market. I'm going to prove it's just numbers going up and down. And I proved it. And then I watched them do it again in the 2008 crash. They pushed the bank stocks down to $1. Remember that? And then the little guys all panicked and got out. People were getting margin calls and everything, right? And just having to sell everything they own at a loss. And then they rocketed those prices to $50 a share. The rich got richer and left the little guy right where he always is, in the gutter. And they're trying to do it now on the greatest money. The cryptos this is the greatest ever. We're going crypto world. The world's going crypto. You're not going to stop it. It's here, it's real, and the regulations are all coming in line. And you can see the whole world's going digital. It's happening. They got machines all over California where you could buy things with your crypto. Just go to the machine and use it. They're popping up in Vegas all over now. It's real. It's not cryptos aren't going away. Running these coins down to a penny for no reason, especially when there's no reason. That's the thing. Look for the news every day. It's only good news, but yet the coins are still going lower. They're trying to use this baloney about the economy and all that kind of stuff. They're trying to attach it to the Dow, and I'm like, shut up. The Dow is way overvalued. All those coins in the stock market are already way overvalued. The stock market stocks are up here and the cryptos are way down here. It's like, which one do you want to be in? I want to be in the one that's at the bottom because it's going to go up there, as opposed to the one that's up there. We already know what's going to happen there. Any bad news, that Dow's going to come a tumbling down, and we already know that. We've already seen it happen over and over again. I'm out of stocks completely. I'm 100% crypto, and you can't. And at this stage of the game, I've come to the conclusion you can't even own enough crypto. You got to just get in and let the game begin, and let that auto trader start accumulating some crypto. You need to have a lot of crypto because when this thing runs, and the beauty is we've seen it do it. We see the crazy jumps in the coins. We're starting to see them more and more nowadays. I mean, ACA or this L3 just went up 150% just a week ago in one day. I mean, what a joke. And then people call me when it's all the way down here in the gutter and they say, "Oh, should I, stop it from buying?" I'm like, "No, the biggest money you're going to make is what you bought at the bottom." I mean, look at this stuff here. I mean, you're buying down here, and boom, one big move like that, everything you own that you were sitting on down here that you thought you had was underwater, all of a sudden you just sell off at a beautiful profit.
You just never know. Ed, ASM had 100%
I mean,
the other day.
this is what's that?
ASM had 100% move the other day. I had that on my auto trader for a while back. It's like
People call me all the time and text me and said, "Did you see L3? It's up 150% today." I'm like, I love it, and I own it too. And it's free money. The whole market's an insult to humanity. And the sooner you come on board, the sooner you start getting deprogrammed. Because right now you're brainwashed. If you think that there's any gambling here, I don't even see the gamble.
Yeah.
Unless it's the end of the crypto world. All right, fine. It's the end of the crypto world. All right. Not happening. Not happening.
I did post my link in the chat. You guys can go there and just poke around, the website if you want. You can see the top trader report. You can see some of the other tools that we
Why don't you give them a discount link to take 1,000 off the website price? Do you have a link?
I did. So that's the same link. It's a 3-year subscription. That's
what is the link? I'll type it in here. It's GoBabyTrade.com.
/ impact earnings. Yeah. So
impact. Oh, there it is. Impact earnings. So when you put impact earnings.
Yeah, but across those links across the top is where you can see.
And then if you click buy now.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
You can see it lowered the price from $44.99 to $34.99. And these are 3-year licenses. We don't do monthlies, that kind of stuff. Because you pay one time and you're done for 3 years. You don't even think about that anymore.
Well, and it's a long-term investment too. Yeah.
If you're doing monthlies, your credit cards are expiring. I'm in the money collection business trying to tell you, hey, your credit card expired. I don't have time to look at that stuff, And when you got thousands of users, that's happening. You're getting 100 of those a month. It's crazy. So I just said, you know what? We're just going to pay one time. It's a 3-year license. You're done. And then, worry about the next 3 years. And, I used to do specials all the time. I've been negligent this year. Well, but usually I have crazy Christmas specials and stuff. And my specials are really killer,
Well, Ed, your special is that you haven't raised the price since 2012. So it's not like everybody hears your passion. You love doing this.
It's worth a lot more than what you're paying, believe me. I have people with $1 million accounts. With multi-million dollar accounts trading in a 1.4 million in a Coinbase account and another 1.4 million in a Kraken account. Well, and so I know, once you get it, you start looking around, where can I find more money to throw in this thing? Because the more money it has to work with, the more money it makes. So, it's a pure numbers game.
I just want to throw out there real quick, since we did pull up the top traders report, is that you weed out all of the pages of 6- and 7-figure accounts because you don't want people to feel like they need to have that much money. So this is a representation of kind of an average person. And if anybody makes a manual trade whatsoever in their account, that does not show up in this report. This is purely set and forget kind of a situation, and you can view details and
But I've had people say, well, I have, more money than that. How come I didn't get 477% of profits taken off the table, physical
Yeah.
profits in
Mhm.
that last year? I don't know. It's because if you look at, I don't know if the level 2 screen's working right now. I was having a problem with it because I've been messing with the servers. Yeah, I don't have it. This is the order book.
Mhm.
Usually I have in here. And you can see all the fake orders in the order book. Right now it's not working because I'm working on a load balancer
Yeah. Only
between the
you get to
servers.
see that. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was a nice thing to show. But what happens is there's only so many shares being offered at various prices. And it might only be one guy saying, I'm willing to sell my shares at this price. And then the next guy says, well, I'm willing to sell mine, but I wanted a higher price. And the next guy says, I'm willing to sell this many shares at this higher price. And now what you're buying at that instant in time might be enough to buy all those guys. The problem is when you're trying to buy all these guys' shares, other people, there's other millions of traders out there that are buying them also, and boom, once they take one away, it's gone, and the next one is gone. So he who gets there first wins. And a
Mhm.
lot of times, if you're buying a lot of shares, you might have to, the price that you're actually going to be paying is a lot higher than what you're seeing, as the price on the screen, because they're showing you the best price, which is the lowest ask price.
Mhm.
And now that could be a fake order. That could be 76 shares of a coin you're going to buy 10,000 shares of. That means nothing, but yet it's occupying a price and it's showing on the screen. This is manipulation in the market. This is where the market is severely manipulated and the public doesn't even know it. So if you're buying a lot of shares, you're not going to, you have to buy, you're taking all the shares everybody has to offer of that coin at that instant in time. And then there's other people out there buying them also. So,
Yeah.
so you're never gonna, I lined up 5 auto traders once in the stock market. It wasn't even the crypto market, and the crypto market's radically different. Um, but I had 5 stock traders that started on the exact same instant in time, lined up. And within a week, you couldn't tell they were running the same strategy because just the fills, because nobody gets filled at the same price. You get, if there's only so many shares offered up at that price, the first one there gets it. The next guy's going to come in and buy at a higher price. And, it's going to, so you're just, and then with the delays in there, the pauses and the AI and,
And things
you
are
can't
moving
even,
so fast. Things are moving so
you
fast.
can't compare.
Yeah.
I try to tell people, don't try to compare your
Yeah.
strategy with other people's. This isn't, those other bots may work that way where they just see, everybody's order, all orders are going at the same time, or they're doing something where they're not even really an auto trader, really. They're just putting some hard coded rules in. There's no, this is very liquid,
Ed,
the
what
way
is
this thing
the,
trades.
it says one
But
year
it shows
report.
you the coins that they're trading. If you click on view details, you can see the coins they're trading. You can see this, 3 coins, 30% there, 35, 35. That's 100% of your money. It says allow buying, allow sells. It doesn't have the decliners and advancers on this in this screen. I'm too lazy to change it,
When
to
does
add that. But
when does the 1 year
but
start?
and then it's got the profit goal. It's showing you the whole strategy. The most important thing about the strategy is the profit goal and what percent to add on and how many lots to go down for your 75% trading window. He's just using the default strategy, really. Only changed the 3% profit goal to a 5% profit goal. That's the only difference.
I get some questions on this report, Ed. When does it start? What's the 1 year cutoff date? Is it to date or is
It's
it
a
1 year?
trailing 12 months. It's a
Okay.
trailing 12 months.
Okay. So
It's always looking 12 months out.
as of today or the 1st of December, the trailing 12 months behind that, or
Well, yeah, it's a monthly report, so every month it'll look
every
at,
month it'll
when
look at the
just
trailing
like
12 months? Okay.
the highest trade count report is the trailing 12
Right.
months
Okay. And then
uh,
now does the
for
trade,
this number here.
but somebody could have had a 3% setting and then they adjusted recently to 5%, for example. So they may not have had that
Yeah,
entire
they
time.
can
So
change,
it's
they
really
can
hard to
change their
know.
symbols as long as they
Yeah.
don't do a manual trade like buy
Yeah.
this or sell this.
Right.
Once they start manually trading, then all bets
Mhm.
off.
But
And
that's
I
just,
also got rid of the most expensive accounts.
Yeah.
I got rid of the $1 million accounts, the $500,000 accounts, because when I first released this report, it was just cluttered with all the big accounts, and I'm like, people were texting me saying, "Well, I don't have $300,000 to trade with," so I'm like, "You don't even need that."
Right.
Most people don't.
Right.
Most people have $5,000, $10,000 accounts, really,
Hmm.
and if you have more than that, it's a bonus. You
Yeah.
got $20,000. I mean, we have all ranges. We have accounts from $100 all the way up, to over $1 million.
So on that note, Ed,
And
Patrick has a question. He says why he's curious why max account value is 2 million, because on the sign up page it said that.
there's two reasons for that. Number one, I didn't create this for the wealthy. I created this for everyday people. The everyday person does not have more than $2 million.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing is also probably a more valid, a more important reason is when you start trading with money above that, your lot sizes get too big. You're buying too many shares. Remember what I said on the order book? The lowest ask price for somebody that wants to sell their shares is they call that the best ask, which is the number you see on the screen all the time, like right here, the current price. You're just seeing the best price, which is the lowest price the person is asking for that if he's selling his coins. But you're probably you're gonna have to, if you're buying 100,000 shares or a lot more, then you're looking at he's the lowest ask price. The next ask price is a little above that, and each one of these has so many shares they're willing to sell. The software adds up those shares going from the bottom up and saying, how many shares do I need to buy for this order? Well, the order may be this many shares, enough to go all the way up to here. Now, what is that price? Because that is what you're going to be paying, that and these numbers below, so you can average it.
Mhm.
But this is the price you're going to be paying for that coin up here, way off what's on here. Some people say, well, how come my auto trader didn't buy it based on that price? Well, you're not just buying 10 shares, you're buying 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares.
Right. Right. And it may not be an
I mean, you
accurate
can
real
look right
price.
here. This one here is buying 798 shares. What are these? These aren't even big. This one's buying 1,630 shares. And it depends what the coin is. This one's buying 157,000 shares. See what I mean? So, depending on how many shares you're buying. So if you have a $2 million account and above, you're buying in big share lot sizes, and you're going to pay a lot more on the trades. And when you sell it, you're going to get a lot less because you're going to dry up all the sellers or all the ones that are down below.
Mhm.
All you're going to dry up, excuse me, all the buyers,
Yeah.
and you're going to end up getting a lot less
So
for the
something to
shares
take
that you want
into account for sure. Yep.
that you when you go to sell. So that's the reason.
Mhm.
But why? Do you have $2 million?
No, he said
Even if you
it
have
was
2 million, you're going to probably not want to risk it all on one exchange. You know how crazy these exchanges are. I'd rather the people who have over $1 million separate their money in the Coinbase and Kraken just to split it in half,
yeah.
so that they spread their money out.
Yeah. So does anybody have any other questions before we wrap up? You can just unmute, we're a small enough group. Feel free or, post in the chat.
Yeah, and I make all the decisions, for 25 years. I just do it my way, whatever I think I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a health meter. This is good. The health
Oh,
meter
yeah.
at the top. If it's red, if anybody sees it red, you need to click on that. If I click on the health meter, it's actually telling me if there's any problems in my trader.
Yeah.
Okay? What this one is saying here, the red one would be a big red X at the top, the highest one. The X is that means you got problems. The yellow, and I'm colorblind, I think that's yellow, close
Yeah.
enough to yellow, right?
Yeah.
It's informational. And all the greens mean success. All the checks that it's doing below those are all good. So we put the real problems on top. I don't have any real problems. This one is just informational. It says trader not set to save profits. That's we kind of want you to save your profits. So it's giving me a heads up. It's just giving me an informational saying, you know what? You're not saving your profits, and we
Yeah.
frown upon that. Ed frowns upon that.
I found that, yeah.
I frown upon
All
it if you're
right.
not saving your profits. You should be saving your profits.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Ed. I really do
Are we
appreciate
good?
your time. I think we're
Cecilia?
good. Cecile,
Cecilia, nothing? No questions? You're all good?
all
Thanks,
good.
Ed.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're welcome, Glenn.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for being here,
Luis,
Bill and
no
Patrick.
question. How about the guys below? Didn't we? Patrick, no questions? You're sure very vocal on the phone.
Yeah, I enjoyed listening to you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, all right. So you notice that my presentations are no different than when I'm talking on the phone, right?
That's not a lie. You don't have any
Thanks,
Christmas
Ed.
special, Dad?
Huh?
Pardon me?
No Christmas specials like you mentioned?
No, not this year. I'm not in that festive mood this year.
You're in a Princey
No.
mood.
No, I just don't have time for it, to be honest with you now. I'm really super busy.
I don't think you've ever had.
But you know what? It's a good
Yeah.
special, taking a little, I mean, you're already getting 1,000 off the website price, the 3-year price. It's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and find me on WhatsApp, you guys. I have a community too of users, and we're starting to do a community call on Friday mornings too, just for people that have been asking just to kind of connect and everything. So I'm
That's
going to
great.
experiment with that. The week that we don't have Ed, I'm doing that for everybody, and yeah, happy to help.
Every
So
Friday, Francine? Every
yeah,
Friday?
yeah, it is.
That's
Every
great.
what? Saturday?
Oh,
Every
Friday.
Friday.
It's Fridays.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fridays.
at 10.
Yeah, I'm glad you're doing that. That's really awesome.
Yep.
Francine, is it this Friday we're having it?
Yeah, this coming Friday. Yeah.
That's
Okay.
tomorrow.
No, it's next Friday because it's only on
Okay.
the week that don't have Ed. We have an off week, so I'm just gonna do a
Ah,
community call,
so it's
and then we
every
have
other
Ed the
week.
following every other
Okay.
week. Yeah, sorry
Okay.
guys. I'll send an email about it. Most of you, if you registered, you'll get that email. And yeah, I posted my WhatsApp number in the chat. You can reach out anytime. And yeah, thanks again, Ed, for taking time and doing these Zooms with us. It's so appreciated, and for everybody taking time
I
today.
enjoy it.
Oh,
Lot of
totally.
good,
Highlight of my life.
lot of
So
good
helpful.
information today, Ed. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot. I'll
Thank
talk
you.
to you
Bye,
guys
guys.
later.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thanks, Francine.
Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas
Sure, yes, Merry
and Go Navy.
Go Navy.